Hey guys, this is Pulse Pirate Captain here, and I wanted to talk a little bit today about how I got my start into anime. Now, when I was in 8th grade, I had a group of friends, and they really liked the show called Rosario plus Vampire. And they would talk about it during recess and stuff, and honestly, I thought it was really weird. I thought it was really weird. It sounded like a weird show. I thought it was just like the whole concept. I just thought it was freaky and weird. I knew that Pokemon was an anime, and I was like cool with that, because that's so Americanized and everything. But this Rosario plus vampire thing, that just sounded really weird to me. And so I kind of brushed it off and I didn't really watch it. And then it wasn't until like my sophomore year in high school where my brother's friend, he was really into watching all these different shows, all these different animes and everything. And my brother was, well, like he was watching one similar with him, and it was called an anime called Soul Eater. You Everyone probably knows about it. It's a little bit of a weird anime. It's very, very unique. There's lots of fan service, lots of just lots of anime elements that are very unique, like Japanese style culture throughout it constantly, and it's a really weird starting anime. And that's basically, I got intrigued because they were watching it and they seemed like a hilarious show because I saw clips and pieces from them when they would show them, and I watched it and I was hooked. It wasn't an easy watch. It was about like, I don't know, like 60 something, 60 plus episodes or 40 plus episodes, and I was able to watch it and I thought it was hilarious and the action was beautiful. The whole concept was very creative. I haven't seen anything more creative in a long time at that age. That was just very unique with the different meisters and the different weapons all working together, and they had to connect on their soul wavelength. Another thing that was really cool is like the different philosophies that were in the show, how madness would rule the different people, how madness would make them go insane, and they would have to try and control themselves from not going too mad, and if they were to go too mad, they would then become an enemy. And so it's this very dynamic show where very many people would constantly be changing, the characters evolving, growing, and it was really cool. That's why I really enjoyed it, and I got instantly hooked on it. And so it was more of the creative aspects that really got me hooked, and the different ideas of this whole other world where there's a Grim Reaper and all these different cool ideas were in it. And I went to my brother's friend and I was like, okay, I really enjoyed that show. What's another show that I could watch? What's another cool show? And he's like, okay, I have a few ideas for you. And so he gave me Angel Beats. He gave me Pandora Hearts. He gave me Sword Art Online. Um, he gave me a bunch of different titles. He gave me Attack on Titan. Even he gave me these pretty mainstream ones, and some of them I don't think he even watched. When he gave them to me, he just knew that they were good shows. And he gave me one called A Walker Under the Bridge, and I started watching that, and that is probably the weirdest show I've ever watched in my life. If you have a chance, you should look it up. It is really weird. Um, but most of the stuff that he suggested were really, really good. Particularly, there's one that I mentioned was called Angel Beats. And so Angel Beats is another beautifully uh, orchestrated show where there's these kids that had unfortunate lives, and they're sent to the afterlife, and there they're trying to figure out everything that's going on and all the different things that are happening. It's very chaotic. There's lots of action. There's a little bit of romance. There's a little bit of just funniest moments that I've seen in a long time. And I fell in love with that show. I most definitely love that show more than anything, and that is still like my number two spot of one of my favorite shows is Angel Beats. And I was able to watch show after show, and I just couldn't stop, and I just really love the creative aspects of anime. And that is basically, since then, I've been growing and watching more and more. And as I was going, I noticed on, I use Crunchyroll, I noticed on Crunchyroll that there was always a show up there that was always like ranked number one or number two, number five, around there, you know, and like besides Naruto and Dragon Ball, the stuff that everyone knows, and it was called One Piece, and I was like, what is this show? Why is it always up on top? And there's like over 500 episodes on there, and I was like, wow. I mean, like, why haven't I heard of this? And so I decided to watch a little bit, and it took me a while to get into it because at the beginning of One Piece is very slow, but it's probably one of the most creative shows I've ever stumbled upon, and that is my favorite anime of all time currently right now. And that's what really pushed me forward and really got me to where I am today. And so that is how I got my start. And now this channel is meant for people, just for me to share ideas and you to be able to, you know, share them with me and just have a lot of fun. You know, this is just something that I thought could be really fun to do, and it would just be a blast. So I'm very happy to just be able to have the opportunity to do this. Thanks. Signing out.